Hey, what's up guys? John here. Governor Gavin Newsom has just signed an executive order making homelessness illegal, removing tents, RVs, abandoned cars, people sleeping, getting rid of all of what is now California.
Governor Gavin Newsom has issued an executive order for the removal of homeless encampments across the state of California.
The move is expected to affect tens of thousands of people across California. Data shows our state has about 180,000 people experiencing homelessness.
Because that's basically what it's become. California has become a slum over the last couple of years. Los Angeles, San Francisco, go into any of these cities, they do not look anything like what they looked like just 5-6 years ago. Every single month, things are getting worse and worse and worse, except with the small event that they had in San Francisco with Xi Jinping. Gavin Newsom cleaned up that city in a weekend.
We're cleaning up this state.
More than a dozen world leaders are coming here to San Francisco this week for the annual Apex Summit, and the city is making a big push to clean its image up literally.
Look stunning, look beautiful. And he kind of makes a joke of it. He thinks, you know what? Sure, we cleaned it up for that event, and yeah, we just let it go back, right? If they really wanted homelessness to be behind us, they would probably have it behind us, not have 180,000 people without housing in that state. But you have to ask yourself, what is the real plan? Because removing homelessness is not for the property owners, it's not for the city, it's not for these local jurisdictions and the business owners in it, it's for the state, because they're getting ready for the biggest power grab in American history on property owners. Major changes are coming. I mean, look at this.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true. Because it's true.
Right? I'm going to break this down. I'm going to show you these laws that are now they're in. Like the odds of this not going through are very, very slim. You got Pelosi's family, you have Maxine Waters, you have all of these major players, Bernie Sanders, everybody working to change housing and property rights. Not to mention, the entire state of California just signed a massive deal with the White House to remove and reduce homelessness by 25% next year. So what are the odds all this is happening? Please hit the like button, YouTube will share this content, educate more people about what's really going on in our economy. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself what I believe is going to be the greatest wealth transfer in American history, started 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it is ramping up now. In the next couple of years, things are going to get absolutely out of control. So if you have credit issues and you intend to invest in distressed real estate, make any type of investment, get a loan, make sure you have great credit. Go to GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call for tomorrow. Take a look at this. So, Newsom issues executive order for removal of homeless encampments in California. Sacramento, California, Governor Gavin Newsom issued an executive order Thursday to direct state agencies on how to remove homeless encampments a month after Supreme Court ruling allowing cities to enforce bans on sleeping outside in public spaces. Newsom's order is aimed at the thousands of tents and makeshift shelters across the state that line freeways, clutter shopping center parking lots, and fill city parks. The order makes clear that the decision to remove encampments remains in the local hands. Now, look at this. They spent $24 billion cleaning up streets and working on the homelessness situation. $24 billion. So for context, there's 181,000 homeless people in the state of California, according to a California website, right, calmatters.org. And if they would have taken that $24 billion, they could have invested $132,000 if they wanted to. They could have invested $132,000 into each person. They could have bought tons of apartment buildings for $100,000 a door, not inside of a city, but kind of on the outskirts somewhere over the last 5-6 years. Especially prices crashed in 2020 for a small period. A lot of these mom and pop hotel owners were in a lot of trouble. They could have allocated capital to buy some of those hotels if they wanted to, even more than they did. But instead, what actually happened is the homelessness situation has grown dramatically. It's grown dramatically. In 2017, homelessness was less. In 2019, it was 150,000. Now it's 180,000. So it's growing, 10% a year, and it's going to get worse. So what happened here is now they're saying they are borrowing. They want to borrow $6.4 billion for 4,350 housing units. Now, how much is that per unit? The answer is they want to spend $1,471,000 per housing unit per homeless person. What's the point of going to, to school or, really applying yourself to hopefully one day buy a home for $800,000 or $1 million in California when you could be homeless and get a 1.4, almost $1.5 million home? You don't have to pay taxes, you don't have to pay the insurance, food's taken care of. I mean, otherwise you have to make probably $400,000 a year to be able to afford it if you're paying 52% to state and federal taxes on all your income to be able to afford a property like that. Now, what is going to happen and how this whole thing is going to unfold is the real story. So in 2023, May 18th, whitehouse.gov, you can see the URL, whitehouse.gov, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, Phoenix Metro, Seattle, and the state of California. They've signed on to set a goal to reduce homelessness 25% by next year and ultimately build a country where every person has a safe and affordable home. Now, with sky-high insurance and taxes, sky-high cost of living, how is every single person going to have an affordable home without radical measures being taken? It's a serious question. When you have the entire state of California signing on to this, and then you start to see these things unfold, you have to ask yourself, what is the path forward to achieve that type of goal? Well, Karen Bass, who's the mayor of Los Angeles, says, "We will not hide people. Instead, we will house people." She said in her State of the City speech last month, "Inside Safe is our proactive rejection of the status quo that left unhoused Angelenos wait. Inside Safe is what it's called." Here, they were calling it the All Inside. So it's the All Inside, essentially a rebrand. All Inside, and this plan is shocking. So as of last week, they're working to give tenants, evicted tenants, free lawyers so they can basically go after their landlords, right? So you have this happening. Then you have Proposition 33, which is, this came out July 4th. July 4th, this is on the AIDS Health Foundation website. And what this will do is basically change everything about real estate in the state of California, allowing them to really put people inside, but remove mom and pop property owners. A lot of these landlords are going to be pushed out of the business. We're walking into a bloodbath in multifamily. I mean, you have Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters in 2020, she said, "Suffering landlords are Washington's new eviction problem." And it's 2021, August 14th, 2021. And what she said here is that, look at this. Yes, small landlords are at a disadvantage, but guess what? They know how to go to a bank and get a loan. House Financial Services Chair Maxine Waters said July 30th as she rallied support for extending the eviction ban. They know how to deal with hard times. I believe that they can hang on until aid flows smoothly. And I do not believe that the renter families, many of whom have 3 or 4 children, have that opportunity, right? So she wants to steal the wealth from those mom and pop property owners. And she says that they can hang on and that they know how to deal with hard times, and aid will flow. Aid never flowed to most of these mom and pop property owners, but a lot of wealth flowed to the top. Then you look at who else is on this. Barbara Lee, Vox.com says, Rep. Barbara Lee, "First, I think that every family should have a guaranteed universal income. No one should have to live below the poverty line." Then you start to look at the team here. You have Pelosi, Christine Pelosi, right here, her siblings, Nancy Pelosi, right? So this situation is going to be ramping up. You have Bernie Sanders, also another notable figure, Bernie Sanders. So crazy. Now, what does this actually mean? What is Prop 33? Well, Prop 33 would remove protections for homeowners, allowing regulators to control rental prices for single-family homes and accessory dwelling units, ADUs. It would also aim to repeal Costa-Hawkins, which, if you don't know what that is, this will essentially if you own a property and you rent this property for, call it $3,000 a month, and that tenant relocates, they move out on their own free will. Maybe they buy a house or they go out of state. You won't be able to increase the rent to $4,000 or $5,000 down the road, even if your insurance and taxes go through the roof. Even if it doesn't, it's your property. You should be able to capitalize on your own investment. Well, this situation would basically make that illegal. It says Costa-Hawkins exempts specific properties, such as single-family homes, new construction from local rent control, and safeguards vacancy decontrol, allowing landlords to adjust rents to market rates after a tenant moves out and a new renter moves in. So they're going to repeal that. So you won't be able to do that. It's going to make California a bloodbath for investors. Look at what they just did in Santa Monica. Landlords in Santa Monica, if your rent's $2,300, I believe it's $2,350 or $2,380 per month, you are no longer allowed to issue rent increases that exceed $76 per year, even though your insurance has definitely increased radically over the last 5 years. Right? As taxes and insurance and your cost to borrow money, everything is getting more and more expensive. You can't pass that cost on to the tenant. The same thing will apply to essentially the entire state of California. So when you look at these conversations about eliminating homelessness and getting homelessness off basically behind us, how do you get 181,000 people off the street without stripping away property rights from mom and pop landlords and from everyday homeowners? I don't see it. What do you think about this entire situation? Where do you see all this going? Do you think we're walking into the greatest power grab in real estate history inside of California? Let's have a conversation below. Please hit the like button. YouTube will share the content. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in a credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video to schedule a free consultation for tomorrow. Catch you next video.